Good morning, yogis. It's Saturday, July 11th, and I believe it's about 17 weeks since we went into our social distancing and seclusion. Maybe it's been 15 weeks or so that we've been doing these yoga videos, and so I want to thank you for joining me in these practices. In today's practice, I intend to offer a lateral practice. These are side bends, side bend practice. And these side bends tend to be very healing, especially for the lower back. Bending to the side also activates the Vijnana Vayu. This is the energy flow in the body that moves inwards and outwards in all directions, and creates a sense of more spaciousness, I think, within us. Expands our feeling of merging with the surroundings around us. And one of the things that we need to be aware of in the side bends, and I often talk about spinal extensions in all of our classes, really, especially in the side bends, we want to be aware that we need to extend or spinal extensions, lengthening the spine. And also, this requires like a lifting kind of sensation, extending upwards. And as you sit here, if we straighten our spine and then begin to extend the crown of the head toward the sky, you'll notice that there's an activation around the lower pelvic area in order to create this lift. And so what this is telling us is that we need to engage the lower abdominals. Now, often when we start our practice, we begin with diaphragmatic breathing, that basically breathing into our bellies, letting them extend in and out. When we engage the core, that means we need to firm up the abdominal area. And so that means that the movement of the navel is more restricted. And yet we can still breathe. And so I'd like to practice that at first as we begin our practice today. And what I want you to do is draw the groin up slightly, so pull it up slightly, try to hold it up, not too, with less effort. Draw it up slightly, and then draw the lower waist in towards you. And hold it there, just not over-exerting yourself, holding it. And then we'll breathe while maintaining that support in the lower pelvic area. And what you'll notice is that the breath, instead of in the diaphragmatic breath where we can feel the navel extending out and pulling in, we can feel as if there's more breath going into the side body, maybe into the upper back around where your shoulder blades are. And of course, we need to warm ourselves up a bit as well. Now, this week I was on vacation. I was at Deep Creek Lake for a few days. I was away. It was a very nice time, a nice trip with family. And one of the things that I noticed on one of my hikes in the woods was some of the beautiful sights of nature. One of the things that came to me in doing this is that there are all these small gifts in life along our path of life that are beautiful and uplifting. And if we are not keeping our awareness on the surroundings around us, that we miss these beautiful moments. In fact, you could say that every moment with every breath is and can be a beautiful experience, a beautiful moment. I was taking some walks with my granddaughter, who's 3 years old, and one of the things that I find walking with this little person is that they stop and look at so many things, and they take the time. Everything that they see is like new, and there's a wonder in it. Could be anything, a little flower, tiny flower, a bug, a frog, all sorts of things to notice. And as I walked with her, it helped me to also take a special time to notice. At the same time, I could feel kind of like a sense of wanting to move along, and there was a bit of a conflict. I could feel it in my belly, my navel area, and part of it was just to be aware of what was happening, to be able to be aware that there's something inside of me, and perhaps in all of us, that is trying to drive us forward, to do something instead of to linger, and to enjoy the path of life in every step. And perhaps it's something to contemplate on as we work on our practice today, that every breath, every moment has a beauty in it. And if we are not careful, we can miss this beauty of life itself, the present moment. So let's engage now into the diaphragmatic breath as I first spoke about, working with the navel center. So straighten your spine and relax for a moment. And begin to activate this diaphragmatic breath, breathing into the navel center and letting it extend out as you breathe in. And then drawing the navel in toward the spine as you exhale. Working with what we call the circular breath, a circle, smooth and round. And noticing, are you breathing in completely? And are you exhaling out completely? So we want to get a full cycle of breath. And as your breath flows in this circular pattern, notice if you can feel any kind of fluctuations or unsmoothness of it, and smooth it out. Again, notice the spine and create that spinal extension slightly. And notice if you feel any tension in the body at all. And let yourself become still and at ease as you work with your breath. And now let's begin to move with our breath. As you inhale, extend the arms up and stretch. Lengthen the spine as you exhale, lower the arms, lower your chin towards your chest. Draw the navel in toward the spine. And continue the cycle. Now lifting up the right arm, we'll come into our first side bend. As you exhale, bend to the side. And then to the other side as you exhale. Notice if you feel any stiffness in the spine as you're doing this. And also notice that with each cycle, perhaps it's dissipating a bit. And the bend, without overdoing it, without forcing, may be becoming a bit deeper. On the next cycle, let's remain here. And what I want you to do is extend the crown of your head away. So we're creating this length in the spine as we gaze toward the sky. And breathe into the side body. At the same time, creating this length, this extension. And be aware that as we bend to the side, there's potentially a kind of compressive force on the side body that's closer to the ground. And what we want to do is we want to create that extension to lengthen the spine and to create some space between the vertebrae. As they bend to the side, if you imagine in your mind each of the bones of the spine, the vertebra, has soft tissue in between. And we don't want to crush that tissue by bending and squeezing. We want to instead try to lengthen it. And see if you can engage the root, the groin, drawing it in, firming up the lower waist, and continuing with your breath. Let's go to the other side now, and we'll remain here and do the same thing. Again, an extension of the crown of the head away, a lengthening, imagining creating space between the vertebrae, the bones of the spine, and the soft tissues. Letting yourself lengthen without overdoing it, without forcing. And then we'll come into a twist. Extend the arms up and turn to your right, looking over your shoulder, coming into your twist. And then to the other side. Very good. Let's lower the hands to the floor and move on to our hands and knees, coming into 4 points. As we come into this shape, I would like you to tuck under slightly the pelvis and hold the tuck. And before we move into our child's pose, we'll just practice on expanding the chest area in this position. So all I want you to do is keep that pelvis slightly tucked under, the lower waist engaged, and we're going to lift the chest without lifting the chin as you breathe in, and then we'll release it slightly. And let's continue. Keeping that pelvis slightly tucked, so we're not rocking it up, keeping it tucked, and feeling a lengthening in the heart center as we breathe in and then releasing. Now we'll take the breath in, and we'll move back into the child's pose, Balasana, as we exhale. And as we rise up, we keep the pelvis slightly tucked and lift the chest. And exhale back into child's pose. One more cycle, and then we'll remain in the child's pose and let yourself release. In this position, we'll engage into a side bend simply by bringing the arms to the right. Again, lengthen the spine as we described. And breathe deeply into the left side body. Coming back to the center, stay for a moment straight, and then bending to the left and breathing into the right side body. Let's move back to the center. Rise up onto your hands and knees. Prepare for the downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift the knees off the floor, and reach your bottom away. Again, creating a spinal extension. Then we'll begin to pedal our heels slowly. Coming to a stop, stay for a moment in the downward facing dog. Next, we'll step the right foot between the hands, moving into our low lunge. Try to straighten the left leg, the one that's behind, and by lifting the thigh away from the floor. Extend the crown of the head away from the body as you draw the breath in, and lengthen your spine. Let's pivot the left foot so the heel comes to the ground, and we'll rise up. Adjust the placement of your feet so you can direct the pelvis in the direction that you're facing so you're not turned in any way to the side. Bring your right hand behind and extend the left arm up as you draw the breath in. And now as we exhale, we're slowly going to hinge at the hip joint and fold into the pyramid shape, moving slowly with the exhale. To rise up, we need to straighten the spine and continue upwards as we breathe in. And continue. Take your time. If it's helpful for you, you can add a count as you exhale into the shape. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then a count of 4, 3, 2, 1 as we rise up out of it. On the next cycle, we're going to come up halfway and remain. Think of making your back flat like a table, and with your left arm extended, extend the crown of the head away, and then again begin to bend to the right, almost like a side bend in this shape. Breathe into the left side body. Keep your eyes open, gazing on the floor, directly underneath your gaze, but looking past the floor as if you're looking out toward the center of the earth. Exhale and fold, and rise up. And we'll extend both arms with the spine straightened. Let's extend and fold into pyramid and remain now. Here we want to feel and relax the hamstrings in the right leg. Drawing your navel firmly in towards your spine as you exhale. And there's a tilting of the pelvis, so as if you want to turn your tail up toward the sky to help straighten the lower back. Notice if you're tensing up as you remain here, and let yourself relax as you exhale, let go. Observe the flow of your breath, smooth it out.
And we'll move back into our downward facing dog to prepare for the other side. Again, spinal extension. Draw the navel firmly in towards your spine as you exhale. Now the left foot will step forward into our low lunge. Again, try to straighten. Think of this as effortless effort. Working less to do more. At the same time, observing the alignment of your body as you remain. And we'll pivot the right foot, heel to the floor, and rise up. Again, adjusting the placement of our feet so we can square our pelvis. Let's take the left arm behind, float the right arm up. And we'll begin our slow descent as we exhale, lengthen the spine by extending the crown of the head away. Slowly fold into the pyramid, straighten, and rise up. As before, you can count to yourself as you work. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's continue. On the next cycle, we'll come up halfway, just like we did before. At first, the spine straight, and then we'll begin to bend to the left and feel the right side body expand. Let's fold and rise up, extending both arms, and prepare to remain in pyramid. Let's step back into our downward facing dog. And from here, gaze in between your hands and walk toward them, placing your feet parallel in hip distance apart. Let your knees bend so that you can feel your belly resting against your thighs, and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Take your arms and extend them behind you and come up halfway. Again, imagine that your back is like a tabletop. And to rise up out of this, feel your heels against the ground. Push from your heels. Rise up. Extend the arms up, and as you exhale, we'll fold forward. So we'll move in and out of this a few times. One more cycle. Very good. Let's come up. And then lower your arms to your sides and stand in mountain. Make sure your feet are parallel. Soften your knees. Draw your pelvis under. Press the back of your thighs away behind you toward the back wall. And as you breathe in, extend the crown of the head toward the sky. Let's bring our legs together, keeping the pelvis tucked under. Raise your right arm up, and we'll come into a side bend standing up. So again, think about lifting, lengthening, creating space between this left side of the body. Breathing into the right side, expanding. Let's come up, and we'll go to the other side. Stay. Lengthen the spine. Engage the core. Lower the arm down and step your feet apart and stand in mountain. Take a moment here and feel the ground under your feet. Standing at the front of your mat, extend the arms up as you draw the breath in, and as you exhale, fold forward. From here, we'll be coming into the half bend. So the knees can be bent. We want to feel the waist against the thighs as before. And as you breathe in, lift your chest. And as you exhale, draw the navel in toward the spine and fold. And continue. Come into the half bend, and as you exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. From here, we'll come into another side bend. Come into your plank at first, and if you need support in this shape, you can lower your left knee to the floor as you turn to the right, lifting the right arm up. You can have both legs extended as well. As you breathe in, take the right arm and reach it away and bend your body. And as you exhale, straighten the body and bring your arm to your side. And let's continue. On the next cycle, we'll stay for a moment here. Bring the arm to your side straight and extend the arm up. Then lower the hand to the floor and press back into your downward facing dog. Stay for a moment there. Let's prepare for the other side. Come into your plank. This time the right knee can come to the floor for support, or both legs together as we extend the left arm up. Breathing in, bending the side body, exhaling and straightening. And let's continue. Let's prepare to stay for a few breaths. Straighten, bring the arm to your side, extend the arm up, and come into your downward facing dog. Stay for a moment in the down dog. Lengthen the spine by extending your bottom away. Preparing to rise up, gaze between your hands. Walk towards your hands and lift the chest into half bend. Fold as you exhale. And let's rise up. Lowering your arms to your sides and standing in mountain. Look down at your feet. Make sure they're parallel, hip distance apart, knees soft, pelvis tucked under, back of the thighs pressing toward the back wall, crown of the head extending toward the sky. Let's bring our palms together, spread your toes wide apart, and float the left foot off the floor, finding your balance. We'll take the knee and open it, cradling the inner thigh as you extend the right arm away, and then we can begin to extend the leg. We can also choose to grab the big toe instead, if that is available to you. And let's place the foot down and take a moment to adjust. Let's prepare for the other side. Palms together, toes spread wide apart. Float the other foot off the floor and open your knee as you did before. See if you can extend your leg or perhaps grabbing your big toe. Let's place the foot down and take a moment to adjust. Notice how your body feels. Preparing to fold forward, extend the arms up as you draw the breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Rise into the half bend and step back into down dog. Come forward into plank and then lower down onto your forearms, a forearm plank. We'll hold this here for a short time. Lower your knees to the floor, point your toes, and placing your elbows more or less a little bit wider than the shoulders. Tuck the pelvis under, engage the lower abs, and as you breathe in, lift the chest, the sphinx, exhale and release. Notice that this movement is very similar to what we were doing in the 4 points right at the start. Again, feeling a lengthening in the front side of the body. As we come into the next cycle, bend your right knee, flex the heel. Draw it in towards your bottom. And then the other leg. Let's continue. Now both knees bending together. Lower down, and now we'll place our hands on either side of our chest. Make sure the legs are extended, toes pointed, pelvis tucked under, and rise into cobra as you breathe in. Let's rise onto our hands and knees. We'll move into our child's pose, sitting back into our heels, letting yourself release. Come up onto your hands and knees and press back into downward facing dog. Gazing between your hands, walk towards your hands. Lift the chest into half bend, then fold forward. Preparing for the chair shape, bend your knees even more and rise into the chair, Utkatasana. Exhale as you fold. Inhaling as you rise up. Exhaling as you fold. Now, come into chair and remain for a few breaths. Let's rise up, lower your arms to your sides, and standing in mountain. Stay for a moment longer as I turn on my fan. It's getting warm in my home. And from here, we'll prepare for Warrior 3, another balance. We'll start with the right leg. Let's bring our hands together at the heart center, spread the toes apart, lift your right foot off the floor, flex the heel, extend as you exhale, rise up as you inhale, extend as you exhale, rise up as you inhale, and now prepare to stay in the shape with an internal rotation of the right leg so the toes point straight to the floor. Like a letter T, and perhaps you may want to extend your arms away. Let's rise up, step down, and lower your arms to your sides. Take a moment to adjust. Standing in mountain. Now the other side. Palms together, toes spread wide apart. Float the other foot off the floor, flex the heel. Extend as you bend. Inhale, lift the knee. Extend. Inhale, lift the knee. And this time, prepare to stay. Perhaps extending the arms. Let's rise up, step down, stand in mountain, noticing sensation. From here, we'll step the legs apart and come into a straddle. Soften your knees as you slide the hands down the back of your legs, fold forward, and let yourself hang upside down. A spinal release, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Rise into the half bend as you lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Rise into half bend. Exhale, fold. Rise into half bend. Fold and stay. Bending your right knee, straightening the left leg, hinge to one side. Then move to the other side. Back to the center. Let yourself stay for a moment. Come into the half bend, lifting the chest and extending your arms behind you. Feel your heels against the ground. Push from your heels to rise up. Palms together. Exhale to the heart center. And then extend the arms away. Bend your right knee and prepare to twist, bringing your left hand down towards your foot as you exhale. And rising back up as you inhale. Continuing on the same side. Two more cycles on this side. Now we'll proceed to the other side. Once more on this side. Going back to the first side, prepare to stay. As you breathe in, turn your head, look down at your big toe. And as you exhale, turn your head and look up towards your thumb. Repeat this 2 more times. And on the third cycle, remain with your gaze toward the sky, churning the navel center by drawing it in as you exhale and twisting it toward the sky. Let's rise up now and stay for a moment with our arms at our sides. Proceed to the other side. Slowly move into the twist. And as you breathe in, turn your head, look down at your big toe. Exhale, look up at your thumb. Repeating 2 more times. And finally, remain with your gaze upwards, churning the navel center. Rising up, lowering your arms to your sides, and remain for a moment. Noticing sensation. Standing at the front of your mat, we'll prepare for a couple of sun salutations. Starting in mountain, extend the arms up as you draw the breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Rise into half bend, step back into down dog with your exhale. Raise your right leg, Flex the heel, reach the heel away. Feel the left heel descending towards your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, step between your hands, pivot the left heel, rise into Warrior One. Let's lower the arms and interlace the fingers behind. Lift the shoulders and roll the chest open. Firmly draw the navel in towards your spine as you exhale. Release the fingers as you inhale, extend the arms up. As you exhale, descend down, step back into down dog. Raise the left leg, flex the heel, reach it away, straight back. Feel the right heel descending towards your mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step between the hands, pivot the right heel, rise into Warrior One. Lower the arms, interlace your fingers behind, lift the shoulders, expand the chest. Firmly drawing the navel in towards your spine as you exhale. Release the fingers, extend the arms up as you draw the breath in. Exhale and step back into down dog. Come forward into plank and prepare for forelimb stick, either with the legs extended or the half plank with the knees on the floor. As you breathe in, move forward, bend your elbows. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, lift the chest into up dog. Exhale back into down dog. Repeat into plank as you breathe in. Exhaling into forelimb stick. Inhaling into up dog. Exhaling into down dog. Let's repeat the cycle once more. Plank, forelimb stick, up dog, and down dog. Let's remain for a few breaths here. Gazing between your hands, walk towards your hands. Come into the half bend, lifting the chest. Fold as you exhale. Rise up. Lowering your arms to your sides in mountain. Extend the arms up and fold forward as you exhale. Rise into half bend and step back into down dog. Raise the right leg. This time bend the knee. Turn it up toward the sky. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step between the hands and rise into the high lunge. Straighten the right leg, pivot the left heel, turn, and open into Warrior Two. Lower the left arm, extend the right arm up into Reverse Warrior. Stay for a moment here. Think of this as another side bend. Lengthening the spine as you breathe in. And as you exhale, swing the arms over the head, lower the hands to the floor, and step back into your down dog. Now we'll lift the left leg, bend the knee, and turn it toward the sky. Stay for a moment. Then stepping between your hands, rise into your high lunge. Straighten the left leg, pivot the right heel, open, move into Warrior Two. Come into your Reverse Warrior. Swinging the arms over the head, hands to the floor, stepping back into down dog. prepare for forelimb stick. Forward into plank or half plank, exhale into forelimb stick, inhale into up dog, exhale down dog, and stay for a few breaths. Walk towards your hands as you draw the breath in, rise into half bend. Fold as you exhale, rise all the way up, lowering your arms to your sides, and standing in mountain. Let's step the legs apart again, coming once more into your straddle. Turn the left foot, turn the right heel, and drop into warrior two. Come into reverse warrior as you breathe in, and as you exhale, extended side angle. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Once more, reverse warrior, and we'll take a moment to stay in our extended side angle. Here you can have your forearm against your thigh, or if you're deep enough into the lunge, you can have your hand toward the floor. Rise into reverse warrior, but straighten your right leg and prepare for triangle. Extend the arms apart and begin to reach away, lengthen, lower the arm down, extend the other arm up, and turn your gaze toward the sky for triangle. Bending the knee, rise into reverse warrior, and as you exhale, swing your arms over your head, hands to the floor, step back into down dog. Let's walk toward our hands and come into the half bend. Fold as you exhale, rising up and lowering your arms to your sides. Back into mountain. Let's move back into our straddle. Legs apart, feet parallel. Turn the foot. This should be your right foot. Left heel turns toward the back. Warrior two. Extended reverse warrior and extended side angle. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Reverse warrior, and prepare to stay. Reverse warrior, straightening the leg, extending the arms apart, palms facing the sky, and begin to reach and lengthen. Lower the other arm up to the sky. Turn your gaze toward the sky. Triangle. Bend the knee, rise into reverse warrior. And as you exhale, swing the arms over the head and step back into down dog. Let's come into our child's pose. Let yourself stay. Come up onto your knees to prepare for another side bend called gatekeeper's pose. The knees are directly under your hips. Take your left leg extended out, extend the arms apart, and begin to reach and rise up. Reach, rise up. Reach, this time lowering the arm, bringing the other arm up and over, and then rising up. 2 more cycles. And as we come into the third one, we'll stay. Again, engaging the lower abdominal, drawing the groin up into the body, lengthening the spine, and breathing into the upper side body. Let's come up, lower the knee to the floor, and stay for a moment, kneeling. Notice how you feel. Let's proceed to the other side. At first, extending, rising up, extend, rise up, extend, rise up. This time, extend, lower the arm, other arm comes up and over, and then rising up, repeating. And on the next cycle, prepare to stay. Let's come back up, lower the knee down, stay for a moment. Let's come into our child's pose once more. And then moving onto your hands and knees, cross your ankles, and take a seat in the easy pose. Take your left leg and extend it out at a diagonal. Bend the right knee, and we'll very gently hinge. Internal rotation on that extended leg, tilting the tail toward the back wall to keep the lower back straightened, and be gentle with yourself here. Let's come up, and we'll switch the legs. Rising back up. We'll go back to the first side, and this time we'll be bending to the side. Now let's take a couple cycles as we did in the gatekeeper's pose. We'll simply reach and come up, extend, rise up. This time extend and bring the other arm over, and rise up, repeating. And this time we'll stay. Here you can have your arm against the shin. If you're bending far enough that you can reach your toe, you can wrap your thumb around your toe with your palm facing the sky. And we breathe into the upper side body.